Day, everyone. My task now is to discuss the sign test. This is the first statistical non-parametric test for one sample. So there are two types of sign test. One is the one sample sign test, and the other one is the paired sample sign test. Let's focus first on the one sample or the single sample sign test. So this is a non-parametric test used to test the value of a population median. In one sample sign test, we compare a single sample median to a specific or hypothesized value. In this single sample sign test, we have two cases in using this one. The first case is when the sample size is less than or equal to 25. And the second case is if the sample size is greater than 25. For the test statistic for the sign test, if the sample size is less than or equal to 25, the test statistic will be the smaller number between the positive and the negative sign. So we will discuss it later. However, if the sample size is greater than 25, we will use the z-test or the z-test using this formula, where x here is the smaller number between the positive and the negative signs, and n is the total number of positive and the negative signs, omitting those who have zero differences. So let's have the first example for a single sample sign test. A student tells her parents that the median rental rate for a studio apartment in Portland is $700. Her parents are skeptical and believe the rent is different. A random sample of studio rentals is taken from the internet. Prices are listed below. Test the claim that there is a huge difference using alpha at 0.10. Should the parents believe their daughter? So the first step is we have to identify the hypothesis, the null hypothesis, and the alternative hypothesis. For the alternative hypothesis, the median studio apartment rate in Portland is not equal to $700. The null hypothesis states that the median studio apartment rental in Portland is $700. Now let us find the critical value. To find the critical value, we have to consider the data values or the data set given from the problem. To find the critical value first, we have to subtract the hypothesized median from each value of the data set. If the data set is above the hypothesized median, which is $700, then we will assign it with a positive sign. If the data value is below or less than the hypothesized median of $700, then we will assign it with a negative sign. On the other hand, if the data value is equal to the hypothesized median, then we will assign it with 0. Say for example here, we have 700. 700 is equals to the hypothesized median, so we will assign it with 0 sign. 650 is below the $700 hypothesized median, then we will assign it with a negative. 800 is above the $700 hypothesized median, then we will assign it with a positive sign. So do this along with the rest of the data value. So after that, we found out that there are 18 positive signs and 2 negative signs. We were also able to get 2 zeros. So this means that there are 2 data value which are equal to the hypothesized median. So from the original sample size of 22, now our new sample size is n is equals to 20. We have to omit those 2 zeros. After this, we are going to find the critical value using the critical value table for the sign test. So first is we have to locate the sample size. Our sample size is 20. Then let us locate our alpha level, which is the 0.10 at 0.10. We have to identify first what kind of test is being used based from the symbol of our alternative hypothesis. Since the symbol of our alternative hypothesis is not equal to, this means that this is a two-tailed test. Then after we determine if it is a one-tailed or two-tailed test, then we will find the intersection between the sample size and the alpha level for a two-tailed test. So with this, we found out that 5 is our critical value, at alpha is equals to 0.10 and the sample size of 20. For the test statistic, after counting the number of positive signs and negative signs, we will now decide between the two which is our test statistic. So for the general rule of thumb, the test statistic is the smaller number between the two signs. So for this, we will have 2 as our test statistic since the negative signs has smaller value compared to the positive signs. For step 4, we are going to make the decision. So the decision rule for the single sample sign test based from the test statistic and the critical value is that we will reject the null hypothesis if the test statistic is less than or equal to critical value. Otherwise, we will fail to reject the null hypothesis if the test statistic is greater than the critical value. So our decision is to reject the null hypothesis since the test statistic 2 is less than our critical value of 5. Since we will reject the HO, we can conclude that there is enough evidence to reject the null hypothesis. The parents should not believe their daughter since we rejected the null hypothesis. This means that the median rental rate for a studio apartment in Portland is not equal to 700. So here is the summary of our data. So that's the single sample sign test for a sample size of less than or equal to 25. Now let us have an example for a single sample sign test if the sample size is greater than 25. To test the hypothesis that the median weight of 16-year-old females from Los Angeles is at least 110 pounds, a random sample of 200 such females was chosen. If 120 females weighed less than 110 pounds, does this discredit the hypothesis? Use the 5% level of significance. So the same with the first problem, we will state the hypothesis. For the null hypothesis, we have the median is greater than or equal to 100 pounds. The alternative hypothesis is the negation of the null hypothesis. So we will state that the median weight of the 16-year-old females from Los Angeles is less than 110 pounds. To find the critical value, since we are dealing with a sample size of greater than 25, so we can use the standard normal distribution table. Since this is a left tail test, so we have to locate the alpha of 0.5. So 0.5 is represents the rejection region. So we have here, so based from the standard normal distribution table, the alpha of 0.5 is equals to the z-score of negative 1.64. This means that our critical value is negative 1.64. The rejection region is any value where the test statistic is below or less than negative 1.64. To compute the test statistic, we will use the z-score since our sample size is greater than 25. So from this formula, we will use x as the smaller number of observed median between the positive signs and the negative signs. Since our since there are lesser females who weighed greater than the 110 pounds, so it means this means that we will use the positives, the number of positive signs, which is 80. So using this z for z-score formula, we found out that this is equals to negative 2.76. Step 4, we will make the decision. Since the z-test value falls on the rejection region bounded by the critical value, so the critical value of negative 1.64, as stated earlier, that any value which is less than the critical value of negative 1.64, this means that we will reject the null hypothesis. Since negative 2.76 is less than negative 1.64, then our decision is to reject the null hypothesis. So let us summarize the results. So there is enough evidence at the 5% significance level to discredit the claim. That data suggests that the median weight is indeed significantly less than 110 pounds. So those are the examples for the single sample sign test. Whether the sample size is greater than 25 or less than or equal to 25. For the paired sample sign test, it is used to test the difference between two population medians when the samples are dependent. So let's not be confused, because a paired sample sign test is just a one sample sign test in this case. So even though we have a paired sample, those paired samples came from the same or only one group. So we aren't testing two different groups, we are testing the differences within the same group. So to solve for the paired sample sign test, we will just use the same steps in solving like how we solve the one sample sign test. The only difference is that to count the number of positives and negatives, we have to get the difference first between the paired samples. Example for that is a before and after scenario. So to get the number of positive and negative, so we will subtract the before data minus the after data. So if the difference is positive, then of course we will assign it with a positive sign. Otherwise, it will be negative. And also same with the one sample sign test. If the difference is 0, then we will omit those zeros, so that we will come up with a new sample size depending on the number of positives and the number of negatives. So here are my references for the sign test. So that ends my report for sign test, and let me give the floor to the next reporter.